Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome, and thank you very much.
Thank you. At the root of the crisis lies a radicalised and politicised view of Islam, an ideology that distorts and warps Islam's true message. The threat of this radicalised Islam is not abating, it is growing, it is spreading across the world, it is destabilising communities and even nations, it is undermining the possibility of peaceful coexistence in an era of globalisation. And yet, in the face of this threat, we seem curiously reluctant to acknowledge it and powerless to counter it effectively. So in this speech, I will set out how I think we should do this, including the recognition that on this issue, whatever our other differences, we should be prepared to reach out and cooperate with the East, and in particular Russia and China. And the fact is that for the last 40, 50 years, there has been a steady stream of funding, proselytizing, organizing, and promulgating coming out of the Middle East, pushing views of religion that are narrow-minded and dangerous. Unfortunately, we seem blind to the enormous global impact such teaching has had and is having. So when we look at the Middle East and beyond, to Pakistan or Iran and elsewhere, it isn't just a vast, unfathomable mess with no end in sight and no one worthy of our support. It is, in fact, a struggle in which our own strategic interests are intimately involved, where there are indeed people we should support, and who, ironically, are probably in the majority if that majority were mobilized, organized, and helped. But what is absolutely necessary is that we first liberate ourselves from our own attitude. We have to take sides. We have to stop treating each country on the basis of whatever seems to make for the easiest life for us at any one time. We have to have an approach to the region that is coherent and sees it as a whole. And above all, we will have to commit. I start with Egypt, not because what is happening in Syria is not more horrifying, but because on the fate of Egypt hangs the future of the region. Here we have to understand plainly what happened. The Muslim Brotherhood government was not simply a bad government. It was systematically taking over the traditions and institutions of the country. The revolt of the 30th of June 2013 was not an ordinary protest. It was the absolutely necessary rescue of a nation. We should support the new government and help it.
Absolutely excellent.